This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this StockBox interview.
Well, today I'm joined by Richard Belcher, Managing Director at Tertiary Minerals, following a release earlier this week of details for the company's upcoming drilling campaign at the Mushima North Project in Zambia. Richard, always good to catch up. How are you doing today?
No, I'm very good, thanks, Dan. Yeah, great to be here.
Excellent, thanks for coming on. So this campaign will focus on learning more about the A1 target at Mushima North, specifically the large silver and zinc anomaly it contains. First of all, can you tell us a bit about this anomaly and what you encountered last time you drilled?
Yes, certainly. So the target A1 is one of several targets within the Mushima North license, which is situated within the iron oxide copper gold region in Zambia. We were drawn to this target because of the large copper in soil anomaly, and the initial drilling last year was to test various parts of this anomaly. The copper in soil anomaly itself is about 3.5 kilometers, or just over 3 kilometers, and by 1.5 kilometers. So it's a considerable footprint. And it's on the back of that drilling we identified the elevated silver results, and these are these broad intervals of 10 to 20 or 20 to 30 grams a ton silver over, say, 50 to 70 meters. And then when we reviewed the geochemical data, sent some more samples off for analysis, we identified within this larger copper in soil anomaly was a sort of almost concentric, a smaller zinc in soil anomaly, and then within that zinc in soil anomaly, there's this silver in soil anomaly. But the silver in soil anomaly itself is still just over 1 kilometer long and about 300 meters wide, so it's still itself got a considerable footprint. So the drilling that we're just about to start now is primarily then to test this sort of core of this silver and zinc in soil anomaly. So the drilling is going to be looking at about 1.6 kilometers of strike, about 300 meters wide, and really start to look at, part of our exploration model is the potential for near surface mineralisation. A lot of these intervals were close to surface, within 5 or 10 meters, and most of these initial holes were very shallow, so a lot of the holes ended in mineralisation as well. So we're going to be testing sort of the long strike, the width, and some deeper holes to test the down dip continuation as well. So very exciting times.
Yeah, so what sort of depth do you think you'll be looking at going to, or is that kind of hard to answer at the moment?
Well, we've got some some nominal plans of drilling down to about up to 150 meters vertically. So again, we're still sort of working within this sort of potential of open sort of pit, open castable potential. That's sort of our near term goal in terms of evaluating, for that style of mineralization. But from the previous drilling, a lot of those holes, as I said, ended in mineralization. But the sort of eagle-eyed looker at some of those cross sections would see actually some of the better grades. So within those broader intervals, the highest grades, where we're going from sort of the 20 to 30 grams a ton up to the sort of 40 grams a ton silver plus, we're towards the bottom of the hole. So that opens up an interesting question as well. Are we seeing the potential for increasing a grade with depth as we move, say, from the geological point of view, looking at the oxide going through a transition, maybe a higher grade zone, and the transition through to the fresh rock underneath. So lots of geological questions to answer, but they all have potential for upside for the project. So it's going to be a very interesting drill program, and looking forward to being out on site for when the drilling starts next week.
Absolutely, very exciting. You mentioned the open pit potential there. Is that a proven sort of mining style in the region that you're looking at?
Yeah, so for Zambia, you either got sort of the domes region, where you're looking at lower grade copper, open pitable, so near surface, or sort of the classic copper belt where it's higher grade, but then obviously deeper. So this region that we're working in, so it's well known, well acceptable within Zambia. Our project is only 20 kilometers away from the historic Kalengwa mine. That was open pitable. That was near surface. high-grade copper, averaging over 11% copper. So this is nothing unusual within the Zambian context. I think what makes this region a lot more exciting is it's not just copper. These are polymetallic targets that we're chasing. So it's copper, zinc, silver, and then plus some of these sort of slightly sort of trace element critical minerals that are now more popular. These sort of deposits can host things like, germanium, gallium, bismuth, antimony. So there's potential upside in those sorts of metals as well. So we're going to be keeping our eye on those as well. And certainly from the initial drilling, we did have elevated gallium and antimony and some bismuth as well. So we're going to be definitely keeping out for those to see how that happens what happens in the next drilling as well.
Absolutely. So lots of different potential elements and paths to value creation there. So this might be a little bit difficult to answer at this point, but what would success look like in this latest round of drilling? Like, what's the ideal outcome?
Well, we've got a sort of a program for up to about 1,500 meters drilling. That's going to be enough for us to test that core of the along strike and some of the width. So on the back of that, we'd really want to be getting to the point where we've got a good idea of where this project is going, and then on the back of that, we'd want to be really working towards an exploration target style estimation. So where we can start to understand a little bit on the if all goes well, what is the potential where this could go in the future? So sort of ranges of grades and tons, and start to look at some of the metallurgy as well. So that's part of our plan. Value creation. We're really trying to go down that route at the moment. Yeah.
Cool. So that exploration target is a key kind of next step once you've got this work out of the way, dependent on the results, of course. So
absolutely, yeah. And if we have enough data on the back of it to get to that step, yeah.
Cool. So everything's in place, and drilling's expected to start within the next 2 weeks. How long do you estimate from there it will take to complete, or is that hard to say at this point?
Well, it all depends on how much drilling we eventually do, but the program itself is probably going to take around 2 weeks. So our sort of advanced party is already on site preparing the logistics, so opening up access again after the rainy season, preparing the drill pads. Drill rig and the technical team are going to mobilize early next week. I'm flying down to Zambia on Monday, so we should be drilling actually mid next week now. So hopefully, and I'll be on site to see the rig start turning and the results coming out. I'll be there to see them firsthand. So very exciting, and results will start coming out on the back of that. We plan to do initial sort of on-site analysis using a portable XRF to get an idea of copper and zinc values. So we're releasing those once we've done sort of our internal due diligence, probably a week or two after the hole is done. And then we'll be sending samples to the laboratory on the back of that. Turnaround times with the labs, maybe 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how busy they are. So there should be a regular news flow coming on the back of this drilling, and I'll be updating from the field and when I get back as well.
Brilliant! That's great that you get to see it firsthand like that as well. So quite a short time frame there. So we'll look forward to hearing more about how the work goes. But for now, Richard, thanks again for your time today.
Great chatting again. Thanks very much.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.